Every time I think of the word cheese, immediately afterwards, I hear, okay, now time for a silly one. Okay,
This
here
has
we go.
almost nothing to do with the US military, but it's so ridiculous I can't not talk about it.
Oh, wait, is he like a military channel? Sorry, I just ordered a bunch of MREs to try on stream, so I was just a little, intrigued. I was wondering.
Today we're talking about America's strategic cheese reserve. Yeah, if you didn't know, the United States currently has over 500 underground cave warehouses
500?
spanning across 35 different states, the largest of which is underneath Springfield, Missouri, where
What?
America, as of August 2022, currently hoards 1.5 billion pounds
1.5 billion pounds of cheese? Oh my god, imagine one lucky rat gets in there. It's like the Jason Bourne heist for mice and rats.
of cheese. And just for the
Wow.
record, I realize I'm uploading this video very close to April Fool's Day. This is not an April Fool's joke. I am 100% serious. El Dorado is real, and Uncle Sam made it out of cheese.
Wait, El Dorado, I was about to say that, the movie! That girl is so cute. I think this is why the top search for BerryCrepe is BerryCrepe girlfriend. But she's just really pretty!
El Dorado, the city of gold.
And I know what you're thinking. Right now, you're like, wow, that's a cool little factoid. I can't wait to share that with my buddy at the bar one day. But no,
Yeah.
this is going to infect your thoughts for the rest of your life. You're never going to see the
Forever?
world through the same lens ever again. I mean, for example, let's just say you're at home watching The Walking Dead. You're going to come to
Okay.
the realization there'd be way more fucking cheese in the apocalypse than that, okay? You're never going to be able to watch Mad Max again without thinking about cheese. You have to come to the terrifying realization that you live in a world where there is a greater than 0% chance that one of these underground cheese caves gets mistaken for a government facility and gets nuked in World War III.
Oh my god, it would be actually like raining cheese. It would be cloudy with the chance of cheese balls.
And we're gonna have to deal with a radioactive tsunami wave of nacho cheese. And this is real
That's not
life.
my
So I asked
cheese.
myself one question. How on earth did America get to this point? Because I know it didn't happen overnight. And what I
Yeah.
found was the craziest real world example of a butterfly effect that I have ever seen. And believe it or not, it all actually ties back in with last week's video of the ice cream ships of World War II.
Ice
If
cream
you missed that, the
ships?
super abbreviated version, basically the US
There's ice cream ships? Wait, there were ice cream ships. Aww. Wait, no more? Now we just have ice cream trucks, and sometimes they bring me a SpongeBob pop with his eyeball falling out the socket?
government banned alcohol during Prohibition in the 1920s. Because of that, all the
Oh.
bars in America turned themselves into ice cream parlors to stay in business. Ice cream stepped
Oh.
up to fill the social void left by alcohol. If so facto, there was like 2 generations of Americans that treated ice cream like it was alcohol, socially speaking.
Wow, wait, is that also why they made, like, I think they're called, like, soda jerks? Like, I'm not calling you guys jerks, but I'm pretty sure they had, like, soda parlors, too. Is that also why that was popular, because of Prohibition? That's interesting. I like history stuff. I think it's cool.
As I'm sure you can imagine, this would drive up dairy consumption. Combine that with the fact that the 30s and 40s is when refrigeration would become readily accessible, meant that
Oh.
for the first time in human history, there was such a demand for dairy products that farmers could exclusively become dairy farmers.
Wait, so the fridge is only from the 40s? Oh my god. Do you ever just get hit with the realization that if you were born in, like, 1920, you would be so bored and have nothing to eat and nothing to do? Oh my god!
Meaning that this would be the birth of the entire dairy industry.
Yeah,
and
that's
honestly, it
huge.
worked out great. Right up until it didn't in 1949. 1949, 4 years after World War II, the American military is downsized. There's not an entire horde of young men eating 10,000 calories a day. And
Yeah.
America's not exporting anywhere near as much food to other countries for war relief, meant that there was a decrease in dairy consumption or a dip in the dairy market. As this became a bigger and bigger problem, the government had to step in because they weren't about to let the entire dairy industry implode. Because, I mean, let's face it, that would be
Yeah.
utter catastrophe.
He was staring me in the eyes, but I was too busy looking at his udders. They were just like way out. He was like flashing me.
So the USDA stepped in and said, hey, you know what? We're going to buy all the excess milk. Okay, pause. Thought experiment. You're a dairy farmer. You make
Me?
all of your money by selling milk. And then suddenly, a
Oh shit, I have to fix this first. I always have the...
couple years back, motherfuckers quit drinking milk. AKA, you made less money. Now,
I am probably a part of that problem because my tummy hurt when I drink milk, so now I'd be drinking that liberal milk. I got that oat milk going down my gullet.
the government has come out of left field and said, hey, we're going to buy all of the milk. what do? You make more fucking milk. And that's
okay.
exactly what happened. So just to be clear, there was already too much milk. Now there's definitely gonna be too much milk. So naturally, all the milk starts flowing in. The government has absolutely no idea what to do with it, so they turn it into cheese. That way it doesn't expire. That part makes sense, but now what do you do with all the cheese? They have no clue, so they just throw it underneath a mountain, ignore it, and hope the problem goes away. But it doesn't go away because every single presidential administration through the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, they all continue to buy up excess milk to prop up the dairy industry, turn it into cheese, and stash it away in these caves.
Okay, so I like how he is really fast with the information too, because when I watch videos, I watch them all at 2 times speed. But this feels comfortable. I feel like I don't have to go spam. It's like the perfect yap.
It literally turns into a giant political game of kick the can down the road because nobody wants to be the president that crashes the global economy by not buying enough milk while sitting on top of a mountain of cheese, which, understandable, I don't want to be that guy either.
Can you go... This is probably the dumbest question I've ever asked. Can you go back? Is it like Minecraft? You can't, once you have plank, you can't go back to stump. So basically now we're just stuck with cheese. He can't like alchemy like all the way back to milk. No, you can't make cheese milk. Okay, but what if the cheese had udders and then I could milk the cheese?
Then, fast forward to 1980, Ronald Reagan, aka the small government guy, gets elected, finds out that the US government is sitting on top of 500 million pounds of cheese and spending $1 million a day to refrigerate and store it, and he looks at this whole issue like a beaver looks at running water. Absolutely fucking not. We can't have it. So his administration goes about figuring out the cheapest way to solve this cheese problem. Obviously, we're gonna throw it all in the ocean.
What? Okay, maybe like, I don't know, Flippy out there, Flippy the dolphin's gonna love that. He goes, oh yes, ah!
However, having at least the foresight to understand that that would cause political backlash, he wanted to see how the public would receive it, so someone from his administration shows up to a White House press conference with a 5-pound block of moldy cheese and is like, hey, we got 500 million pounds of this shit. How would you guys feel if we threw it in the ocean? It'll be fun. We'll save money on cheese. We're gonna find...
How come America always defaults to just put it in the ocean? This is very historically accurate.
Find out if blue whales are lactose intolerant. It's going to be a great science experiment. The public did not go for it. They kind of felt like, hey, I've paid taxes for the last 40 years. You've turned those taxes into cheese. I would at least like the cheese. So then the Reagan administration took the 55-gallon drums of cheese, cut it up into 5-pound blocks, packaged it, and spent the remainder of his administration funneling 300 million pounds of cheese into impoverished and elderly homes. And this is where we get the saying, government cheese, from.
You're gonna end up eating a steady diet of government cheese and living in a van down by the river.
Wait, that's why when I was a kid, I don't know if you guys had this at your school. Basically, if we couldn't pay for lunch, they would give us a cheese sandwich. It was like a bottom piece of white bread, 1 slice of cheese, another slice of bread on top, and that was your lunch.
The US government would then continue to give out government cheese until the 1990s when they seemingly ran out, because as of today, all 1.5 billion pounds of underground secret cheese in America is privately owned by corporations like Kraft and Velveeta. And this is the part where I've wanted to end the video on a happy note of the government made a mistake, they fixed a mistake over 50 years, happy ending. Hooray. However, it didn't really make sense because something happened in the 1990s where the government was able to stop buying the excess milk. What happened? And that's when it hit me. It was absolutely the Got Milk ad campaign.
I love Kermit. He's so cute. Look at him. He is dressed to the nines. Milk isn't just for tadpoles.
The biggest, most iconic ad campaign of all time. I mean, every cafeteria in every school in America had a bunch of posters of famous athletes with milk mustaches saying, got milk, drink your milk. I vividly remember commercials as a child telling me that if I didn't drink enough milk, my arms would literally fall off my body.
I have a bad milk story, but you guys can't judge me. When I was a kid, when I was younger, I feel like all my stories start when I was younger, and you guys, yeah, back in 1840. Back in 1840, my friend had milk at her house, and what she did was she told me that she wanted Big Booba, so she drank all the milk that her parents bought because they bought, like, hormone injected milk, and she said that it would make your booba bigger. So every time I went to her house, I would chug all of the milk that she had in her fridge because I want that to be me one day. Yeah, that did not work. That did not work.
Well, Mr. Miller told me he never drinks milk. Look at him.
Now that I'm turning 28 this week, is this how it's gonna feel when I bring the groceries in? Walking down the stairs already breaks my back.
Oh, that's not good.
Me when I went to my friend's house.
Surely this is what inspired an entire generation of Americans to eat and drink more dairy products, right? I mean, yeah, probably, but looking back on it now as an adult, doesn't it seem just a little bit weird that it wasn't a particular company putting on all these ads? Like, if there wasn't one company profiting from selling all this milk, where was all the money coming from? I mean, it almost seems like the government launched a giant psychological operation, ad campaign, just so that they could offload milk so they wouldn't have to keep contributing to their mountain of cheese. Well, I'm gonna take this off now because that's legit exactly what happened. In 1995, the U.S. government created a non-profit organization known as Dairy Management Incorporated, and
Dairy Management Incorporated. I'm so gamer, I thought that said DMG. I was like, wow, they're doing a lot of damage, I guess.
their entire job was to get the American people to eat and drink more dairy products. Literally a cabal of individuals plotting behind the scenes to get people to eat more cheese. It's the cheesiest conspiracy of all time, and I'm not even kidding. Anything that has ever been sold or marketed that involved way too much cheese on it, this company is behind. Okay, they're the reason that Taco Bell started selling steak quesadillas.
What? Wait, I'm the biggest Taco Bell fan in the world. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. I like the quesadillas, even though I think they're a little spicy. But I mean, I also think soda's spicy. I did a soda spicy tier list.
Yes, they were behind the Got Milk ad campaign. In 2002, when Pizza Hut had the Summer of Cheese event where they put way too much cheese on all their pizzas, this is who was behind it. In 2010, when Domino's almost went out of business, they gave Domino's $12 million to stay in business and then gave them a bunch of cheese so that they could put extra cheese on all of their pizzas.
Oh my gosh. Wait, and now look at this. It's gonna get even bigger. Domino's Pizza does stuffed crust now. Play the alien music or whatever that's from. They have stuffed crust now.
And that was their entire proposition for staying in business. Hey, our pizzas have more cheese on them now, so they're good. It is absolutely insane. So I did it. I found the world's cheesiest conspiracy, but then I found leaked internal documents from DMI. And they are the funniest fucking thing I have
Release the cheese documents, please.
Ever read in my entire life. I'm gonna go ahead and read one for you now. It's a letter from Pizza Hut to DMI regarding a meeting they recently had, July 6, 1999. Dear Greta, we wanted to express our thanks once again for a wonderful meeting last week. We appreciate your team taking the time to share some very valuable information and creativity during our brainstorming session. Everyone is very excited about the presentation you gave regarding DMI's available resources and cheese industry insights. We look forward to working together to develop many cheese ideas we've discussed. We believe this is going to be a valuable partnership for both Pizza Hut and DMI. Let's sell more pizza and more cheese! Exclamation point. Thank you again for coming to Dallas. We look forward to talking to you soon about our partnership opportunities. We will call you next week to discuss the next steps.
If they went to Dallas, maybe they're gonna like load guns up with like cheese and then just shoot them. When I lived in Texas, there was a lot of shooting culture, brother.
Sincerely, Derek, Lord of the Cheese, and Listrin, Lady of the Cheese. Even they know that this is a fucking joke. Why is this such a joke? Well, because Dairy Management Incorporated, while it is a non-profit, they don't actually have to raise money for themselves like most non-profits do, because they're also a government checkoff program, which means every dairy farmer in America is legally required, whether they want to or not, to send this company money so that they can advertise on their behalf. And their annual budget is like $140 million a year, with their CEO and top level executives all making right around $1 million per year. Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you there is a group of people in America getting paid $1 million to convince Americans that cheese is awesome. Okay, that's like trying to fucking explain to Stevie Wonder what nothing looks like.
Wait, that's so random. How did that come up in the cheese video? I mean, I guess he's cheesing, so it makes sense.
Cheese squared.
Cheese squared.
And getting paid $1 million for it. He already fucking knows that, okay? It makes no goddamn sense. Cheese is so fucking good that it is the one thing on earth that if you were allergic to it, we're not gonna say you have a cheese allergy. No, you're lactose intolerant. We're not gonna say you're allergic because we all know you're gonna eat that shit anyways because the consequences are worth it. Am I upset right now? A little bit. Is it because I'm jealous? Uh-huh. It's basically selling ass candles to dogs and getting paid $1 million for it. It is the most ridiculously easy job on the planet, and I'm so mad that it's not mine. Anyways, I guess if you made it this far in the Unhinged TED Talk, in conclusion, the US government banned alcohol in the 1920s. It set forth a ripple effect through time, and now some dude in 2023 has my dream job of making $1 million a year to convince people of some shit they already knew.
I think a place that I know cheese is really popular in is in Korea. When I lived in Japan, I wanted to go to Korea for like a week, and I was looking at the food there and like watching a bunch of food videos because I love to watch food videos. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I be eating with my eyes for real. But everything was just smothered in cheese. There's so much cheese in Korea. They probably have like way bigger cheese vaults than we do.
And the US has 1.5 billion pounds of cheese hidden in an underground cave network. Fucking the more you know, I guess. Thanks for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at fatelectrician.com.
Cool.
Quack bang. Out. I'm gonna go eat some fucking cheese.
That was a really good video. Thank you guys for showing that to me. I like learning. I know that sounds weird. I've mentioned this before, but I like going to school. I feel like learning basically levels you up and you're putting stats into intelligence. And that was a really interesting way to present it. It was really well paced. It went by really fast. Yeah, that was really good. Thank you for showing me the video.